Hello everyone, it's Lori Bradley here and I'm finally online. That was a hassle and Matt's phone still is not set up. He put in for a new work phone and it arrived and he had to call the company to get it, set up or whatever. And then it wouldn't set up. And he talked to 2 different people, got disconnected twice. And so for the last 30 minutes, he's been waiting. So finally, and then I was going to get online on his phone, on his old phone, because I didn't need, the phone service. And anyway, long story short, we couldn't get logged in on my Facebook on his phone. And so finally I said, forget it. Then I sat down at my table and the light was different because of the afternoon light. So I had to move my table over. So anyway, here we are. It is 31 projects in 31 days, and we are working on project number 3. We have moved to Christmas. We are going to make a Christmas card today, and we are using the traditional Christmas suite. I'm not using all of the stuff in the suite, but I am using a few things. So let's get going. No more time shenanigans. Let's do this. So I'm going to turn this over. Hopefully the light is okay that you can actually see because, yeah, I think it's okay. Because I moved over. And so just the story of my life right now. All right, so we are using the traditional labels stamp set and dies. And so we're using these dies are actually really fun. They've got little stitched edges and little swirls and the whole thing here. And then we're using this one. We're using the banner. So that's the one I'm going to use today. And so, and then let's see, I will show you the other stamp set. I'm a little discombobulated right now. The Christmas greenery also goes with this bundle or this suite, but I'm not using this one today. Oh, thank you, Maureen. I'm glad. Thank you for telling me, because sometimes it looks a little different on my phone screen than it does on somebody else's. So thank you for sharing that. All right, the other stamp set, the Christmas greenery, does not have any words. So the words actually come from the traditional labels. We're going to hold on to this one for another day. We're going to use this one at a different time. But I just wanted to show it to you real quick. So the traditional labels. Then we have the embossing folder that I didn't bring over here, but I used it after yesterday's debacle when I die cut and embossed with my thing on the side. I decided that was it did not work very well. So I'm going to start. I'm going to make a card that says sending love and joy. And we are, as a demonstrator, I can participate in swaps, in card swaps. And the idea came from a demonstrator named Melanie Coverston. I really liked her card. I'm changing it just a little bit and adding a little bit, but the main idea, the basic idea came from her. So I've got a Secret Sea card base and the designer series paper I had propped up, I think. Nope, it's right here. All right. I'll show you the designer series paper really quick too. While I'm showing you the suite, I should show you the whole thing. I'll make it really. It's shades of reds and greens, and this is the one I'm going to use today. Just a small piece because I think that's overwhelming. Like that looks like, I don't know, the crazy man's Hawaiian shirt. But the back, love the plaid. And then a nice Secret Seed neutral. It could be a birthday party paper if you wanted it to be for a man card. The pinks and the reds for the poinsettias. And I'm showing you the backs first because they're the non-shiny. Because I usually always tend to use the shiny side. The cherry cobbler polka dot with the flowers. I think that one's really pretty. And we've got some Secret Sea stripes. And then our poinsettias. Look at all that gold. Isn't that pretty? And then Old Olive, there's my favorite. And then the bouquets of the flowers, there are actually dies that match those, so you could easily cut that from your paper. And then this one, this is the one sheet I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with yet, because it looks like I could actually name somebody who would wear a shirt that looks like this one, and It just wouldn't be my style. So I'm gonna figure out something to do with this particular paper. That's gonna be my challenge. And then the plaid on the back of this one. All right, now I've shown you everything except for the embossing folder, but I'm gonna show you an embossed piece. All right, I'm gonna take my half sheet of Secret Sea and I'm gonna fold that in half. Just a basic card base. Okay, now, for right now, my inside is going to be blank. So let's go ahead and put that in there. It's just a 4 by 5 1/4. Even my camera is shaking a little bit. Goodness gracious. All right, so we've got our panel on the inside. All right, I just like to get all my pieces done as best I can. All right, I cut a piece of gold foil, and this one is 4 by 5 1/4. If you had something to die cut, which I don't right now, you could die cut out of the center of this and no one would be the wiser. If you had a circle you needed to cut, just for the ease of doing this right now, I'm going to go ahead and just use it as is. But I also used the Wreath embossing folder that matches the suite. You can see the leaves, you can see the holly berries, and it's just a if you don't want to, if you don't want to do this, like cover it, you could stamp in the middle there. You could do so many different things. But for right now, for this card, we're going to cover that circle. So I'm gonna just put that on with regular adhesive, whatever your favorite adhesive is, the liquid glue, the Stampin' Seal, whichever is your favorite. And I just did a small, narrow gold border because I didn't want it to be gaudy. I just wanted a nice, delicate gold rim around the edge of my thing. And we're gonna go ahead and we'll glue that onto our card front. And that's flat also. Like I said, I like to put on my layers so that I don't have all these pieces laying around. Okay, now I have another small piece of gold, and this one, I'm gonna remeasure just so I don't tell lies, is 2 3/8 by 3 3/8. And I have a piece of the designer series paper, so it's not nearly as bold and bright as the whole sheet of paper would be, because if we put that on a whole card, that would be a little loud, I think. I'm not sure. I haven't decided. We'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind. And I have, so I cut it at 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I'm gonna glue that right onto the front of that gold. And that way, only a little bit, it's not super, oh yes, my glue from yesterday's empty, so we're gonna use regular adhesive. I'm gonna put that right onto the piece of gold. Hey Monica, thanks for joining me. Sorry I'm late. And I couldn't do it later this evening because we're gonna be gone. We're leaving fairly soon to go to soccer, and so I never know when I'm gonna be home from that. So thanks for your patience. All right, so see that Secret Sea comes out through the middle, kind of is the background color, and we're gonna put that on our front, on our card. Actually, I think I should go like that. On our card front, and I'm gonna put that on with dimensionals because I want that to pop up just a little bit. All right. If you have this suite, or if you have thought about buying it, Stampin' Up! Is actually offering a card class that you can buy like as an item in the online store. And you can purchase that and do the class with the Stampin' Up! Things. You can find it in my store, my own online store. You can, and then they will send you the information for it. So that's kind of a fun new thing, a new card class that Stampin' Up! Is offering. All right, so we have our piece. See that piece in the middle covers that hole, so it just looks like there's leaves all around. You don't even know that it's a wreath. Set that aside. Now I've die cut. Actually, I cut multiples just because safety first. But here's the die cut. that we're going to stamp on, and I'm going to do Sending Love and Joy, and that will fit right on that die cut. And I'm using the Secrecy ink. Okay. It's gonna fit right there. I typically like to die cut after, but there we go. But the stamp, in case you wonder, is actually curved, so it fits right onto that die cut. And then let's pop that up as well, just to give it a little more definition. I'm gonna cut them in half because it's a little bit narrow, so I'm gonna use these edge pieces that we don't like to waste. And they'll fit right on there, and it doesn't hold that separation closed. All right, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and put some on the ends too, because I'm not sure how far off of my piece that's gonna go, but I'm gonna cut small ones. You can use mini dimensionals. I just happen to have these on my desk. There we go. I'm going to show you both cards that I have. I have the one that we're making right now, and then the original, and you can tell me if you like that extra little bit of gold. Not quite done though. Okay. Hi, Sandy. All right, let's put it right about, I'm going to put it in the same spot that my sample was. All right, so we've got the Sending Love and Joy. Now, the sequins that come with this suite are also very fun. They're flat. I thought that they were a thicker, they're traditional sparkling sequins, so I should have known, I guess, that sequins are pretty flat, but they're not. I thought they'd have a little dome to them, but no, they are flat. Can you see that? Flat. So I'm going to use the red. Actually, I think it's probably cherry cobbler. And there's 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. There's gold, balmy blue. I'm not gonna guess. I think it looks granny apple green, but I think it's probably old olive and cherry cobbler. And if I'm wrong, I probably am actually. All right, so let's go one here. I'm gonna use one of each size. I'm gonna do it opposite of my original sample. There we go. So we have the gold, the blue, and then you can put whatever sentiment on the inside that you want. So here's mine. And then this was my original swap card that I got. So I just cut down that Secret Sea panel just a little bit and added an extra layer of gold in the middle. Let's see, can you see that? See the difference there? I just added a little bit of extra shine to it. So there you have it, Christmas, Traditions of Christmas. And that is project number 3 of 31. So tomorrow is Saturday. We have football and an actual tailgate. Tonight we have soccer. It's a little crazy at our house this weekend. So tomorrow, Saturday, October 4th, for project number 4 will be at 10 a.m. Central Time. So I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend if I don't see you before that. Thanks.